What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to our weekly wax roundup for the week, where I discuss news that has come out with Scentsy, plus the scents that I've warmed for the week. So let's get started. So this week, coming up on Monday, August the 18th, we have Aladdin returning. Let me just read to you some of the things coming from Scentsy about this collection. So this is actually a scent that's returning, plus some other things. So it says, the enchanting new Disney Aladdin Magic Lamp Scentsy Warmer features blue LED lights at the base that gives the illusion it's magically floating. Lift the lid to see the genie featured in the wax dish as if he were ready to be released. Alright, it says they also have a new buddy clip inspired by the adorable, is it Abu? Plus the Disney Genie Scentsy Buddy and Disney Aladdin 3 Wishes fragrance are being re-released. There is something to note here, I will get to it in a moment, about pricing. So let's talk about the Disney Aladdin 3 Wishes Scentsy fragrance. I've warmed it before, I enjoy it. I'd say my daughter really enjoys it. It is probably a great alternative to Blueberry Rush, a little bit softer in intensity, but let's read you the notes about Aladdin 3 Wishes. It says, set the genie free. Big, bold notes of juicy blueberry, sugared plum, and ripe blackberry burst over sparkling cranberry for a fragrance with phenomenal cosmic power. Now, do you know that the notes, I believe, on Blueberry Rush are blueberry, pomegranate, cranberry, and currant? So we have blueberry and blackberry and cranberry and plum. So very similar, slight differences. Intensity is a little bit lower on this compared to Blueberry Rush, but I probably enjoy Aladdin 3 Wishes more personally than I do Blueberry Rush. All right, here's what I want you to know about this collection. I'm not going to go over all prices. You can go on the website, go down to the collections license Aladdin, but these prices are in effect until August 31st, and then the price increase happens for this collection. I believe in Canada, for sure. I'm not sure about the US, but just keep that in mind. In Canada, for sure, the prices will be increasing September 1st. So if you're interested in any of these items, obviously it makes sense to get them in August. All right, so this past month, I've been working really hard to get through some of my club bars, because I tend to get club bars and I don't tend to warm them as much as I should. Then they tend to accumulate. Then I have to put a rush on warming them. So we'll actually get to the club bars at the end, because I didn't finish, many of those. But I wanted to talk about some of the summery scents that I worked on first. So I did finish a brick. It had, I think, 4.5 cubes left, and it is Summer Berry Melon. Now, this scent is not available in brick anymore, but it is available in bar size until the end of the month when it seasonally retires. So I think this one will come back, but I'm not sure. Speaking of, I will probably film later today a report card video, basically just chatting about all the items that are leaving and what I thought of them and if I think they're going to come back, etc. Summer Berry Melon, the notes are cassava melon, strawberry, raspberry, and pineapple. Now, in my old house, I would say I got more of the strawberry, and it reminded me a lot of the strawberry shortcake doll. But now in this house, I feel like I'm getting more of the raspberry and pineapple combined to make it a little bit more tart sour to me. So I actually preferred the way it smelled in my old house. Either that or it cured to smell a little bit different. This is from March of 2023. I warmed this in my open area. I think I warmed it in the boys' room mixed with another scent, which I'll tell you here in a second. I think I warmed it in Erica's room. So I used up the rest of this brick, and I'll put this in my brick video because people said it's still nice to have the brick video. All right, also in Erica's room, I warmed 3 cubes of her favorite, which is Wild Black Cherry, for her birthday. She just turned 20, and I thought I will warm 3 cubes worth, which is a warming. And it usually stays in her room for about 2 to 3 days, and then I remove it. It is very strong, and it's very saturated and heavy. So it is a black cherry scent. It reminds her of cherry nibs. The notes are sweet and juicy black cherry, like an old-fashioned black cherry soda. So that is a good performer, probably one of the stronger Scentsy scents in terms of strength. All right, one that Ryan really likes that I've forgotten to give some attention to, and I thought I'll pull this out and warm it for him. It is By the Sea. So I've warmed this 2 different times in the boys' bedroom, as well as 2 different times in the entranceway warmer. So the notes on By the Sea are ocean air wafting through dewy seaside grass And I must say, I really enjoyed this. It's still warming in their bedroom today, and it's really enjoyable. So I have one more in my cabinet, which is fine. If it wasn't to return, I'd be okay with it. And I think it's one that will return. I mean, it's been around for a long time. It used to be a year annual type scent available all the time, and then they transitioned it to spring and summer, and I think it'll stay that way, hopefully, because it seems like it has a lot of fans. Personally, I find it a touch sharp, but it is fairly strong for me, so I do appreciate that. So that is By the Sea. All right, this one is retired, I believe, recently, or is it still? No, I think it's still available until the end of the month. It's Lilo and Stitch Aloha Adventure. I'll put below if it's available or not available, because I just can't remember. So this one is a really beautiful fruity scent. Let me read you the notes. It says sugared strawberry, pineapple, and raspberry. Now I can get on board with this one because this one is just fantastic. I put this in. I had 2 cubes left. I said I'm going to finish it in the kids' bathroom. Every time I went in there, I was like, I love it in here. It's so good. It was probably like a day and a half scent for me for 2 cubes. So would I like it to last longer? Of course. But I put this in my club because I at least want one more, if not continuing to get it through the club. So I'm trying to limit my license bars because I really don't want to be paying what they're asking for come September 1st for license bars, but we'll see what happens. So that is Aloha Adventure. My club just processed today. I'm filming the video on the 17th, and this will I'll launch it probably late on the 18th, but that will come in my club in the next few days. All right, I finished up. I had 6 cubes left of Summer Rain, and this is one of the scents that I used to have in my club years ago, and I removed it. It's a really nice aquatic scent without being that scary Scentsy aquatic that they really, really love. It's got black lava salt, so let me read you the notes. I think it's got cyclamen, dew sprinkled cyclamen, fresh botanicals, and black lava salt. And this is a more grounded version of Thunderstorm. It's like its subdued twin sister. Thunderstorm is very aggressive, lots of florals that are a bit sharp, and this is more sweet and grounded rain type scent. I really like this. However, I did waste it. I put it in the open area, and I should have known better. It's just not an open area kind of scent. So bedrooms, bathrooms, for me, for Summer Rain, I should know better. I think I have 4 left, so I'm okay. And actually, I think they're all from 2022, so that's the last time this came back. So this used to be a scent of the month years ago. All right, I also have a few of these I needed to work on. It is Hibiscus Water. And this is an example of don't stockpile things, because sometimes you don't end up loving them later on as much as you did before. Now, do I like the scent? Yes, I definitely like it. But before I loved it. Now I just like it, and I still have a few more bars to use up. So let's read the notes for this one. This is retired. It says apple, hibiscus, and mineral water spring. And I also just finished this in Counter Clean, which was really nice. And the Counter Clean was beautiful. The packaging on it was just gorgeous. So this I warmed in the kids' bathroom. I warmed it in Erica's room, and I mixed this with Summerberry Melon, which was nice, and warmed it in the boys' room. So it is very tropical, fruity. I think Amy calls them fruitals. So it's more floral than fruit, and there is the aquatic. So I would say that if you like scents like hibiscus pineapple, you might like this. I'm trying to think of others off the top of my head. Maybe Aloha, the new one. I forget what that's called. But this has a little bit of a watery spring note. Not the scary water, just like almost like a spring spa watery feel. So that's really nice. But not a main area scent for me. All right, speaking of main area, I did warm this in my main area. I had 7 cubes. I usually use 6 there, but I thought I'm just gonna finish it off, and it's Gleeful Grape. And I thought to myself, I don't remember liking this overly in the past, so I'll just warm it in the big area. This lasted 2 days, and it was really nice. It was almost like a candy powdery grape, like almost like a sweet tart grape, or like a chewy, not a chewy candy, but a powdery candy grape with almost like a fizzy effervescent feel in the air. So let's read the notes for this one. This one says juicy grape, raspberry leaf, and sugared berries. And I left it 2 full days. It did really, really well. So I remember thinking before it would be nice to get rid of this. Now if I saw it come up in clearance, I might grab one. Go figure. And sometimes it's just an example of when you kind of bash a scent, and then you're like, you feel like you're like, well, it wasn't so bad after all. Yeah, it's very kid-like, which is why they have the bicycle there. So All right. In Erica's room, I finished off the last 3 cubes I have of this one. It is Vanilla Rose. And this is from the Mother's Day collection of this year. This is Fresh Clementine, Soft Vanilla Bean, English Rose. I would say I got mostly rose and vanilla. And the citrus was just there to kind of give it a little kiss of bright je ne sais quoi. But this was nice. I enjoyed it. But it wasn't one that I was like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. I got to go find it. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I usually don't like rose. I tolerated this. It was like a sweet rose variation. So vanilla rose. And I think I left it going 2 to 3 days in her room. So I just almost dropped that. All right. Now the next 4, I will try to go through on the faster side because I've been rambling. These are somewhat fall-winter ones that I wanted to get through a few and just, you know, I felt like warming them. So this time of year, sometimes you feel like creeping in with a little bit of fall. So I used just 2 cubes here in my bedroom of Churro, which is a soft vanilla-based scent with a little bit of cinnamon. So the notes say baked pastry and cinnamon sugar. And this is, yeah, you can definitely smell cinnamon. Sometimes I can't and sometimes I can. And this time I could. And I think when I head into fall, and the scents are so heavy cinnamon, then I can't smell cinnamon in scents like this quite as much because it's mostly a vanilla-based scent with extra stuff, and the extra stuff changes it up a little bit. And I do love these type of scents here in my bedroom. Most people say, why do you warm scents like this in your bedroom? They're bakery scents, and I'm like, but they're relaxing to me, and they make me feel calm and cozy. So that's one that will stay in the club. All right, this one I warmed for the review, and I don't think I'd revisited it, but I put it in my club because I remember really liking it, and it was Ginger Cookie Crunch, and I warmed this on the day of the wax melting challenge that said, melt a scent that starts with the first letter of your last name. So for me, it would be G. And the notes on Ginger Cookie Crunch, crystallized ginger, nutmeg, and vanilla bean. So on cold sip, this smells like a rich, you can get a little bit of the crystallized ginger, which is very sweet, not heavy, fiery, or anything like that. It almost smells like a variation of vanilla bean buttercream. So I'm like, yes. But I'm thinking to myself, I remember really, really liking it. How do I feel about it now? So now, still really, really like it. Still really, really want it in the club. So this isn't going anywhere. This is really nice. Yeah, the same thing. I warmed 4 cubes here in my bedroom. I put 2 here, 2 in the bathroom. And some people say, well, like, why would you put it in your bathroom? It's like, well, normally we don't use our bathroom a whole lot. We tend to use the main bathroom, which I call the kids' bathroom, but sometimes we use this one. But I just want like the full surround sound for the scent. So yeah, I love this one. Staying in the clip. Probably try this in the main space. I think it will do okay. I warmed Candy Apple Delight. I had just warmed 3 cubes in Erica's room. This is a licensed bar. It's in my club, and I do really enjoy it. It reminds me of a vendor wax called, I think it's called the Warrens from VCS. So, and it's funny, I thought I saw something come up for her. So I'm like, is she coming back again? Anyway, Candy Apple Delight. Crisp apple dipped in buttered caramel and pecan sugar. Now, I remember putting this in the room, and a little bit later, she had come out of the bedroom and her door was open for a little bit, and I was in the main area kind of reading at the kitchen table, and I was like, what's that smell? It's so good. And it was this. It's a, if you like gentle caramel scents, but there's almost like a green apple instead of a red apple, and I think the picture has red, but I think that's the candy coating. So picture like a green apple with like a little bit of like a nutty feel and a sweetness and a caramel kind of tone. That's kind of what this smells like to me. I'm probably going to keep it for a little bit longer, even with the price increase, and then I'll have to make a tough call on this one. Sometimes I just need to go through things a little bit more and then really decide if I had my fix or am I done. All right, I have apple butter frosting. I warmed 1 cube for the upcoming wax melting challenge. I usually melt a head, and I just make sure I get through everything that I've picked for the month for my challenge. So this one was on a day, I think it's a melted apple scent. So this was one that when I first joined, not when I first joined Scentsy, when I first got into Scentsy, I tracked down a brick of apple butter frosting, and it was from 2017. So I was just getting into Scentsy right around end of 2017, early 2018. And the brick, over time, it got really dried out and kind of like crumbly, but man, this scent holds up so well. So it says baked cinnamon, spiced apples, and decadent vanilla buttercream, and it's very rich. It's very sweet. There's cinnamon, there's apple. It's delicious, and I'm sure a lot of people wish this would come back. Now I will tell you, I put this in my storage room, just 1 cube, and it didn't perform the greatest there, and I know it performs way better elsewhere. So I have the beehive warmer in there, which is available now. I'll put a little picture of it here. But I think it's hit or miss with scents. Right now there's another scent going there, and it's just booming. So yeah, apple butter frosting didn't perform the greatest in that room, but it's still staying because I know it's a love. All right, so let's see what my favorites were for this week. All right, so Patricia's picks. I think I'm gonna pick a summer and a fall or winter. So for fall winter, I'm gonna pick Ginger Cookie Crunch because this just cemented the fact that I really loved this bag when I warmed it for the review, and I still really love it. So nice and warm. If you like scents like hazelnut frosting or what's the other one? I can't think of off the top of my head. It's not at all like frosted ginger cookie, but more like vanilla bean buttercream with the tiniest bit of something in the background, then that's one you want to look out for. The other one is Aloha Adventure because this one puts a smile on my face, and I'm not a big fruity person. I usually like them. This one I really like, so this would be another one that I really pick for the week. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. I'm going to go off and film some more videos, so if you see me looking the same, that's why. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.